as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. As we get set to watch Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up. And we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
A pretty big opening there on first down. 8 yards up to the 33. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. McCaffrey on the counter. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be a third and about 13. So first and second down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's more. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. Leading them out is their 6'3" quarterback, the 3rd overall selection in 2018, Sam Darnold. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. They'll roll it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. K1 short. Able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now it's Rosen. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Adam Shaheen, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
And New York set to take the field. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start first and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 42 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
On first and 10, Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. The front office all smiles when the ink went dry on this new contract.
Not only them, how about the coaching staff? Because oftentimes the front office and the coaching staff may have different opinions about the value of a player. I think everyone was in sync on this one. He's a guy that they needed to keep.
Pilot, 64, weak. Check, crunch.
Darnold for the red zone now. Herndon's got it complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front, as we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
To throw again on second down. Darnold on the catch. It's Crowder. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Quentin Williams coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Able to find Shaheen here. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October, because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So all even at 7. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Carolina. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check right, check right. Hey, check 24.
Rosen off the play action. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
3rd and long here for Rosen. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10.
He's coming, check in. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Crowder. And he's taken down inside the 30. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off of play action, Darnold. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Here's Darnold. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Mike 28. Mike 28. Hey, wahoo! Hey, number 28. Mike. Lady. He's coming. Check in.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Rosen. And he's got his target. That's Moore. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Here's Rosen to throw, and that's knocked away and incomplete. The safety Marcus May in there on the coverage.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Jets now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now it's Darnold. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet 1st down. Darnold now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a 1st.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option, and almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Darnold. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Back to throw, Darnold. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not at all.
Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a 1st down.
Rosen now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 2nd and 11 now. Rosen. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for.
A big rush, and it's blocked. Jets come after it, and nothing but daylight ahead. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. In for the score. And the Jets will extend their lead.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know what else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Looking to throw again on second down. Rosen. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now Rosen. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Darnold now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10.
28. Mike, 28. Pick it up, guys.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Brian Burns just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Throwing on 2nd and long. Darnold. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Darnold from the gun. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Our final shot before the break. Darnold eluding the pressure right. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. And it's the Bills with the lead in the second quarter. Josh Allen has thrown 2 touchdown passes. From there, it's off to Jacksonville to see what's going on with the Jags. And that game has gone to halftime with the visiting Cardinals out on top. Kyler Murray, a touchdown pass in that first half. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Antonio Callaway, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
New York set to take the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Darnold. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 48 yards.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. They go play action here on first down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long.
Kill. Turn it up. Yo, lady. Turn it up.
Now Darnold. He's going to go up top for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Darnold to throw again. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. And a sack by one of the most consistent D linemen in the game, Gerald McCoy.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. We'll check on his status when we get back. On third down, Rosen. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Fielded at the 20. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking.
Nixon hit, and all the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take up to the 28-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one. Starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They run the counter. Clements. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Here's Darnold. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
No. Me. Check 3. Check safety.
They'll keep it on the ground. Clements. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch. So
they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts, passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now Rosen on first down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. A toss here to Scarlett. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They turn to Scarlett again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The kick by Carlson is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
The New York offense taking a last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Brian Burns picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And look at the numbers. They have gotten him more involved. I guess the question now, Charles, defensively, how do you make him less involved?
That's always the key. Guys are starting to play really well, and you shift your attention to them. You got to make sure you got full focus on him because he finds a way to make plays. Always have 2 guys in his vicinity. Usually trying to bump him off the line of scrimmage and get him out of his route.
Going quickly. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th. EA Sports at the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first down.
It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
You must be dreaming. Orbit.
On the catch, 8 at the Panthers' 45-yard.
Pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for BC. He is smothered behind the line.
You got nothing to win.
13. Darnold. Man open. That's Kiki QT.
Run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but the football swings, slants.
And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this. And this on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal back of the end zone. And no run. Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Pressure comes in. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Rogers, but at least it's 4th. It looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the
Right. It really doesn't.
the former Maryland Terp, Jermaine Carter Jr., had the tackle. Former defensive guy. Now it's a course
you have to look out for more pressure.
Say State Spartan. Throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as
Herndon home. Chris Herndon, his second touchdown on the season. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing.
It's a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back. The Panthers out here. Costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
How many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Now it's Rosen. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again, it's Rosen. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2. They want to go to the air again with Rosen. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. And a completion on first down. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep...
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Six guys. Check 6 guys.
He'll have a first down past the 40. Big yardage that time for the Jets. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
On first down, Mixon. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. And Darnold wants to throw the football. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Hey, exit.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. One final shot here for Rosen. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points.